Om. Ten Commandments, the Principles of Arya Samaj, Part 27. The tenth principle, Duty and Liberty, Section B. The Province of Samaj. The authorities in every sphere have to confine their surveillance to that phase alone of the common men's lives which comes within their immediate purview. The military, for instance, should not dabble in religion nor judiciary in education. The Arya Samaj, being a religious body with a comprehensive program of individual and social reform, has a wider scope of functions than any other corporate authority. Here, even the individual lives of the members come under watch and ward. Immorality, be it individual or social, will upset the moral working of the whole society. Continual non-performance or irregular performance of sandhya or any other samskara on the part of its members, even in their homes, will stultify the religious existence of the community. In these things, the Samaj cannot remain silent without nullifying itself. With due regard to the conditions of the society around it, it will fix a moral minimum below which no member will be allowed to sink without fear of forfeiture of social right which membership confers on him. Encouragement will always be given to individuals to rise above that minimum. From time to time, this minimum will also be revised so as to make progress constant. This minimum then will, in the case of every individual samaj or of a body of samajas, constitute the line between the sphere on the one hand of personal liberty and on the other social duty of the members. To remain in the forefront of reforming bodies, the moral and social level of the member of the Arya Samaj should always be considerably higher than that of surrounding masses. While conviction in the teachings of the Vedas demanded from the member should be complete, their practice in conformity with the doctrines should be allowed to be progressive. There is no sphere of the lives of individuals which can, in their relation to the Arya Samaj, be entirely private. It will in practice remain private so far as it does not come within the minimum to which we have referred of social and private conduct fixed by the Samaj for time being. As the minimum rises, the scope of privacy will gradually be curtailed and the responsibility of the members to the Samaj by degrees increase. The 10th principle will in its broad outlook apply at all stages. Our ever expanding obligation. Let us carry this rule a little further and looking at ourselves as parts of the Arya Samaj and at the Arya Samaj as it stands at present as a part of a greater whole humanity, consider our gradually broadening responsibility as the wholes to which we belong by degrees expand. The first 5 principles we have shown are our cradle minimum. In the matter of these, there can be no compromise with either a majority or a minority. In practice, too, nothing in contravention with our accepted principles should ever be asked or accepted to be done by us. Morality must be enforced, and even if in the name of a system of religion some obscenity or immorality be exhorted to, the Arya Samaj is bound to raise its unanimous voice against it. Where non-Arya Samajists are in a majority, the Arya Samaj shall exert itself to subvert their decisions if immoral. While living in company with non-Arya Samajists, the Samajists will cling to certain civic rights of their own adoration of Parameshwara. For instance, is every citizen's personal concern of inviolable sanctity. The Arya Samajist will not force this concern to non-Arya Samajists, nor will he allow non-Arya Samajists to gratuitously interfere with his discharge of his obligation in this behalf. The same, too, will be his attitude as regards the reading of the Vedas. Aryan prayer is public as well as private. In private meditation, the adorer will be guided by rules laid down by yogis, those who have an experience of occult meditative exercises and their highly exhilarating results. For congregation, the particulars as to the time and place, etc., of the performance have to be prescribed by the Samaj which arranges it. In this particular, each member should subordinate his own voice to that of the majority. In the case of all other yajnas and performances held privately or conjointly with the society, the same rule applies. Greater care is needed when these or such other duties are performed in public places. Demonstration is a part of civic religious activity. As at present constituted, the society in every country is made up of persons of various creeds and sects. The religion of the Veda does not prescribe fanatic haughtiness as a part of ritual rigidity. Where essentials are involved, the Arya Samajists must of necessity be firm. In non-essentials, he should always be accommodating and peaceful, not budging an inch before a recalcitrant non-Arya Samajist bigot. He should always be on the guard against adopting a bigoted attitude of a similar type himself. Civic peace is a part of religious propriety of conduct. To religion, in the broader sense, the maintenance of goodwill among God-made human beings is more conducive than bloodshed for adherence to a minor man-made form. The evolution of a sense of national and looking further, international oneness is a sacred mission of religion. It is religion alone that can look beyond social and geographical borders. The individuality of the smaller wholes preserved, their arrogance has to be laid as an offering on the altar of service to the greater whole. Let every religious association preserve its moral and spiritual essence. With this reservation, let it merge its being in the broader being of humanity. In what concerns the internal welfare of communities and states, they are individually free to manage their own affairs. In international affairs, however, let them forget they are separate entities. One in many. The implications of the 10th principle are thus very varied and wide, in fact as varied as the varied phases of human activity and the different divisions of the human family into larger and smaller wholes, and as wide as the human world itself. The significance of this commandment gets wider and wider as our social and humanitarian outlook becomes steadily broader and broader. Without destroying them severally, it aims at unifying the good in all sects, all communities, all nationalities, all colors, all creeds. It shall maintain diversity, out of which, by the miraculous power of love, it will evolve an unprecedented unity. The differences should be suffered to remain, to contribute to the variegated charm of corporate oneness. Not tedious monotony of the dead, but beautiful unity of the living. One in many is the aim, the mission, the social and political and cultural formula of the Church of Lord Dayananda. The recitation of this book ends here. Om. 10 Principles of Arya Samaj. The first principle. The first efficient cause of all true knowledge and all that is known through knowledge is Parameshwara, the highest Lord, that is God. The second principle, Ishvara, God, is existent, intelligent, and blissful. He is formless, omniscient, just, merciful, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginningless, unequaled, the support of all, the master of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal, and holy, and the maker of all. He alone is worthy of being worshipped. The third principle, Vedas are the scripture of true knowledge. It is the first duty of the Aryas to read them, teach them, recite them, and hear them being read. The fourth principle, one should always be ready to accept truth and give up untruth. The fifth principle, one should do everything according to the dictates of Dharma, that is, after due reflection over right and wrong. The sixth principle, doing good to the whole world is the primary object of this society to ensure that is its physical, spiritual, and social upliftment. The seventh principle, let thy dealings with all be regulated by love and justice in accordance with the dictates of Dharma. The eighth principle, one should promote Vidya, that is, realization of subject and object, and dispel avidya, that is, illusion. The ninth principle, one should not be content with one's own welfare alone, but should look for one's own welfare in the welfare of all. The 10th principle, one should regard oneself under restriction to follow altruistic rulings of society, while in following rules of individual welfare all should be free. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.